What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. Massive shout out to our boy, Tucker Carlson, who is changing the world and breaking the matrix and has become the most followed independent journalist who's ever lived. Tucker Carlson has 10 million followers on X, and Tucker Carlson is the most powerful man on the most powerful breaking news platform on earth. And so a huge shout out to Tucker Carlson, who is incinerating the matrix and proving that independent journalism can stand the test of time and does have a place in our modern society, censorious modern society, and the truth shall set you free. Tucker Carlson has used his voice, always gotten him in trouble a lot, reported on the assassination of JFK, saying that it was the deep state that was doing this. But now there are many voices saying that it's Tucker Carlson who needs to watch out because he is speaking too much truth, and of course you're not allowed to do that. And much like when JFK realized that he was being set up by the CIA, that's precisely what happened. Just a real quick people's history here. The CIA, JFK came into power. They said, we got a guy who's a communist in Cuba. He's 90 miles off the coast of our nation. We got to take him out. We have a plan here. It's called the Bay of Pigs. We're going to release these people back into Cuba, and they're going to take over Cuba. It was a disaster. Everyone was slaughtered on the beaches. They didn't even make it like 2 feet. Why is this important? Well, because immediately afterwards, the CIA went to went to JFK and said, "You got to now invade." And JFK realized right then he'd been duped. He'd been lied to. They'd never planned on a special invasion that was going to be really clean cut. They had planned on this failure in order to trick him and humiliate the young president into war. John F. Kennedy was a war hero and a veteran of World War II, and so he didn't take the bait. Instead, he declared that he would shatter the CIA into 1,000 pieces and cast them into the winds. And so right now it is past his prologue. You can see what the CIA did to JFK for wanting to do that. What will they do to Tucker Carlson now that Tucker Carlson has so many followers? Now that Tucker Carlson is wanting to interview Vladimir Putin. Tucker Carlson is called a dead man walking on Russian state television because of what? Well, signing his own death warrant. Well, what did he say? He said a lot of things in a recent interview. What he really said that pissed the people off who have been plotting this for a very long time is that America is destined to go to hot war with Russia so that our elitist cabal can maintain control. You see, there must be an emergency to keep control of everything. FDR ran for president like 5 times. Wartime gives the War Powers Act gives a lot of power to a lot of people, a lot of evil people who wish to continue to violate your rights and continue to hurt and harm you. And so this is what Tucker Carlson is calling out. Tucker Carlson saying so on a recent podcast with Adam Carolla. This is the clip that's gotten Tucker in so much trouble. We are going to war with Russia, a hot war with Russia. Expect it in the next year. COVID's not going to work. It's going to be a war with Russia. And they're going to try and send our young men and women off to die in the trenches for Ukraine when they can't even protect our own American borders. Will you be among those numbered? Yeah, don't think so. Here's what Tucker Carlson said, unedited, on the Adam Carolla show. That's making some people say maybe it's Tucker Carlson who could be assassinated next. God forbid. Watch.
They can't lose. They will do anything to win. So how do they do that? They're not going to do COVID again. I know everyone on the right's afraid they're going to do COVID and mask mandate. They're not going to do that. They can't do that. If they've already been exposed, that won't work. There's going to be no. What are they going to do? They're going to go to war with Russia. Is what they're going to do. There will be a hot war between the United States and Russia in the next year. And
really?
Yes, of course. They want it anyway. I don't think we'll win it, but that's a separate analysis. But I think it's a political matter. They need to declare war footing in order to assume war powers in order to win. I believe that. And I think the evidence suggests that's true. So if you're worried about our politics getting like even more vicious than it already is, and people being hurt in our politics, which is entirely possible, you should be worried about the prospect of an open war. We're already at war with Russia, of course. We're funding their enemies. So we're fighting Russia. But I mean, an open battle with Russia where we say we're at war with Russia. I think that could easily happen. I think we could Tonkin Gulf our way into it, where all of a sudden missiles land in Poland. The Russians did it. Our NATO ally has been attacked. We're going to war. I could see that happening very easily. So if you're worried about that, you need to put as much pressure as you possibly can on the Republican-held Senate. to force a peace, which can be done. The United States could force a peace in Ukraine tonight. We're funding one side. There is no Ukrainian army outside of NATO. If NATO withdrew its support for Ukraine, Ukraine would crumble in a day. So we are the only power in the world that can bring both sides to the table to force a peace, which will be unsatisfactory as all forced peaces are. Like each side will give more than it wants, but that's the only option. Otherwise, I would bet my house on it. We are going to war with Russia. And of course, the stakes are everything, our life on the planet. I mean, these are the two biggest nuclear arsenals in the world facing.